This is the plaintiff, Lori Tejan. She says she hired the defendant to build them a patio with their 120-year-old farmhouse. Well, the guy did the job 2 years ago, and she's been calling him for 2 years because the drainage on the patio was done wrong, and the thing floods. The aggressive guy needs to be taught a big lesson on work ethics because she paid the guy over $30,000 for the job, and she wants it fixed, and she wants it fixed now. She's suing for $2,000, the cost to fix her patio. This is the defendant, Patrick O'Connell. He says the plaintiff used salt on the stones during the winter, and that caused them to crack. He's been out to her house numerous times, and other than the cracking, things look fine, but the drainage, the plaintiff's impossible to deal with. She's had numerous run-ins with other contractors, and he stands by his work. He's accused of stoning a customer.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to build a patio. It has been 2 years. It is still not right. But the defendant says the plaintiff used salt in the stones, so he caused the damage. It's the case of, you got big stones to sue me.
Lori Tejan, you are suing Patrick O'Connell and Patrick O'Connell LLC, represented here by, don't tell me, Patrick O'Connell?
Yes,
for $2,000, an estimate to fix bluestone patio and walkway that he originally installed and that now needs fixing again.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
We hired him back in May of 2013 to relay stone that was already part of the house to do a number of walkways and also a patio. You know, when he came out, his bid was actually the highest out of all three that we got by over $6,000. But because of his masonry skills and the work that he claimed and the experience he had with bluestone, we decided to go with him. He was very rarely on site for the job. He had his workers there, and you know, we were pleased with the job when it was done. But then after just a couple of months, we started to see, you know, severe issues with the job.
After a few months, you saw what?
I have pictures to show you, but there was excessive pooling of water in areas that he was supposed to grade. He added a drain in an area that gets no water and no drain that gets filled with water that actually makes the walkway unusable. Anytime it rains or all winter, it gets covered in ice.
How did people decide where to put the drain?
He decided. He graded the property. He put a drain in, and what's funny is we actually just found out yesterday when we got another bid that the drain, according to our contract, was supposed to go under the front yard into the driveway, and it actually, the one he put in doesn't even do that. It goes under the ground to our backyard and just ends in a landscape bed.
Okay, let me see the pictures. This is a pretty big job, right?
It was over $30,000 that we paid him. The pictures I have here not only show the pooling of water, but also 20 to 30 stones are loose. When you step on them, they wiggle, and as a result, some of them have cracked. And then others along the whole walkway, there was supposed to be 4 inches of concrete. And as you can see here, even the ones that are laid in concrete are falling off.
Let me hear from you.
All right, we started a job for them back in May of 2012.
And tell me about the experience that you told them about with bluestone.
Well, I do have 21, 22 years of masonry, hardscape construction experience.
Okay.
And they want me to use all this old bluestone that was from the house. It's a small horse farm. And, you know, it was all dry laid maybe 20, 30 years before that. And, you know, they wanted to save money. Some of the work we set in concrete.
But I don't understand what you're saying, because if you have 27 years and
21
years experience, and there was stone that shouldn't be used, then one expects you to say, I can't use that stone.
Well, no, I never said it couldn't be used.
Right, so then how could she? So when you're saying, well, they wanted to save money, so they were using stone. I mean, stone is old.
No.
I don't know what the problem is. It's not like broccoli that gets old and you have to throw out. It's stone. God made it millions of years. I mean, it's supposed to be old, right?
No, it was dry laid. There's a difference between
so is
laying
that a problem?
it dry and setting it concrete. Yes, it is.
Then why'd you use it?
Because they wanted to save money.
Okay, now do you have a contract with them where it says that you warned them this may crack, it's a problem?
No.
Did you ever say that to them? before you used it.
Well, how would I know if there was a problem?
Well, then how would they know if there was a problem? Like, in other words, it has nothing to do with them saying, I want to use this stone here to save money. What's wrong with that?
We did what they wanted us to do.
Why did it turn out to be a problem? There's a drainage issue that I'm looking at in the pictures. Do you want to see it, or you've seen it?
I've seen it. I've
Okay.
been back there twice, which they've said I've never been back there.
Okay.
I was back
So they
there
called you
twice
to
and
repair it.
Yeah, many times.
Did you ever go out there and repair it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you go out? You say he never went out there
He
and
never
repaired
Oh,
went
can I
out
see
to
that
repair
again?
it.
it. Yeah.
No.
Take a look.
Okay.
When did you go out there and repair it?
We had been back there that year.
Can I see, like, some proof that you went out there and repaired it? Because she's denying that that ever happened.
Well,
Take a look at
I
those
had
two.
statements all ready to go, but I couldn't get them notarized from my employees.
Do you have the statements without being notarized?
No, because they
You don't have
said-
anything?
No, I didn't
Who are
bring
these
it.
guys?
Beg pardon?
Subcontractors or your
No, they work for me, they do,
So why don't you just have them here?
because they're all working.
Oh, well, okay. You pick your poison. That's fine. If
Yeah.
you don't mind, if you'd rather have them working, and that's a business call on your part, rather than testifying
Well-
to the court of what they did or didn't do, or whether they were out there. And if somehow you can't get your act together to have an actual affidavit for court, or even just a letter from any of these people who work for you, then what do you expect me to do when I'm faced with this? I'm looking at these pictures. Look at the pictures I just handed up there. Where the stone is cracked.
I wasn't
I haven't finished. Where stone is literally lifted up because it's not really embedded in the cement. And what she's asking, actually, you were suing for $3,000 and now you lowered it to $2,000. Your estimate says $1,800 to $2,000, which I don't get because that's the point of an estimate, is to be specific.
Well, we originally got an estimate for $3,000. When we knew we were coming here, we wanted to get another one, and that estimate came in between $1,800 and $2,000. So we decided to do the right thing and to go with the lower estimate.
What I don't get, though, is why doesn't that person just quote an amount? That's kind of the idea behind estimating.
Right. He said the reason that there's going to be a difference is because sometimes when you start to take stones up, you have to add additional stones in there, and he doesn't know until he does it. So we're even fine with the $1,800. We just, if we can get the majority of this paid for, that's what we're looking for.
So, does the guy who installs the stones have a duty to tell the customer, hey, dude, this is going to crack?
I think with anything, you have an obligation to disclose important information about the product that you're installing, especially if you have knowledge of it. I mean, the customer doesn't have background in it.
Customer doesn't have background, but at the same time, the guy's kind of a hired gun, right? What do you think?
I agree with him. Like the person who's installing should be able to tell everything.
You agree with him because you're wearing the same shirt. I got it. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Are you able to prove by any means at all, whether it's text, emails, letters, receipts, witness statements, anything, that you went and responded to because according to you, you would call and what would happen?
I have everything on text, actually, way back from the first text that I have with him. When eventually he said he would come over, and I said to him, please let me know what time you'll be there, and we'll be happy to meet you. The next day, he sent me a text, I was at your house, and I fixed the problem. So I texted him back and said, why didn't you tell me you were coming, first of all? But second of all, nothing is fixed. And if I wasn't there, how could I even show you what the problem was? And then months went by. He said, oh, it's winter. I can't come out now. I'll come out in the spring. In the spring, it wasn't thawed yet. So there were always excuses. And then he said, I texted him again, and he said, I'll come out tomorrow. I said, okay, let me know what time. Again, he didn't let me know what time he would be there. And again, he said he came and there was no problem. But we actually live in sort of a remote area, and we have cameras at our house. And I checked the cameras, and there's no record at all of his truck even being there. So
That's a lie.
What say you to that?
I say it's an outright lie.
When you went there, since there was a problem, why wouldn't you call her so that she could...
Because I didn't know if we were really going there that day. I mean, I'm getting texts in the middle of the winter to come and fix the patio, to take a look at it, to do this stuff, and it's, it was ridiculous.
Okay. She has loose stones right now, which is what I just showed you the picture.
And they would have been fixed. The third time I went to go back, they weren't home. They had texted me they were going out.
Yeah, they've told you repeatedly, though, to make an appointment. So why won't you just make an appointment?
I made an appointment for that Sunday morning, and I went there. Nobody was there.
On a Sunday morning, you made an appointment.
On a Sunday morning,
Can I
looked
see
at
the
my
text
phone.
or some proof that you made an appointment on a Sunday morning?
I actually have a text to prove that's
Yeah,
not true.
I got
To prove it's
a
not
text.
true?
To prove that's not true.
Show me your text, show me yours. Yeah, she actually does have proof that you did the opposite of what you say you did.
I have
On
proof
April
right here,
19th
too.
at 8:58, you say, let's see, on April 18th, I parked my truck at a job at 6:30 this morning and never could get away. Sorry, I am tired. I will stop by tomorrow morning. That's on April 18th. She says, okay, we'll see you in the morning. Then at 8:58, she texts you and says, we have a bunch of stuff to do today. What time do you think you'll be here? You do not answer her. And at 11:17, you say, I just stopped by and I saw 1 or 2 stones, blah, blah, blah. Deep freeze, thawing, blah, blah, blah. So you didn't. She says, you've got to be kidding me. I asked you at least 30 times to come here and tell us so we could be here. I don't blame her. I'm frustrated.
Would you?
All right. Now, we're done. I'm ordering the defendant to pay the plaintiff the sum of $1,800 for her to be able to do the repairs through a different company. She's been patient enough. Good luck.
You know, the construction guy's out here, and step right over here next to me here and faces this way and tell me, well, what's your reaction here to getting sent out of the courtroom on the losing end here?
I think she sided with her because she's a woman. I don't think she knows what she's talking about.
Okay, you could just head right out.
Thank you.
Great job.
Right on the corner to your right.
Okay. So you didn't get everything you sued for, but what did you get?
Well, I think that, it showed that he does shoddy work, and unfortunately, it's people like him that give contractors a bad name. We tried to be reasonable. We took the low end of the estimates. We tried to work with him, and as you could see, he has quite an ego.
All right, Harvey.
Real quickly, Kurt, when you have a dispute with a contractor, document the conversations with emails and texts. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.